1977, California. In a small town, hundreds of people gathered for a community meeting because a masked predator was breaking into homes at night. He would watch people while they slept, make terrifying phone calls, and disappear without leaving a single clue behind. During the meeting, one man stood up in anger and shouted, "If he ever comes into my house, I'll kill him myself." The entire room erupted in applause, but nobody knew the killer might have been sitting in that very room, listening to every word. And just weeks later, that same man and his wife became the next victims. This is the story of one of California's most terrifying serial criminals, a man who escaped capture for decades. Sacramento, California. Quiet neighborhoods, safe streets, the kind of place where people didn't even lock their doors at night. But then, women started calling police with horrifying stories. In the middle of the night, a masked man would sneak into their homes. At first, investigators thought he was just a burglar, but they quickly realized this man wasn't there to steal. He studied his victims. Days before an attack, he would secretly enter homes during daylight hours. He opened windows, removed bullets from guns, hid ropes inside the house, memorized every room and every exit. Imagine that. A stranger entering your home for days, watching you, learning your routines, while you had absolutely no idea. And the worst part, he always attacked at the perfect moment. Soon, all of Northern California was living in fear. News stations gave him a name, the East Area Rapist. People started buying guns. Families left lights on all night. Every strange noise became terrifying. But nothing stopped him, because he was smart. He slipped through tiny windows, tied up husbands and wives, then stacked plates on the husband's back and whispered, "If these plates move, I'll kill her." Victims later said his voice was calm, too calm, like he had done this many times before. But his most disturbing habit was something else entirely, the phone calls. He called victims before attacks, and even after them. Sometimes there was only heavy breathing, sometimes whispering, sometimes threats. Months after one attack, a woman answered her phone late at night. A voice quietly said, "Remember when we played?" Then the line went dead. By 1978, California was terrified. Police launched massive investigations, helicopters, undercover officers, neighborhood patrols. But every single time he escaped, it was almost like he vanished into thin air. Then came the moment that made the case even more chilling. A community meeting was held in Sacramento. Hundreds of frightened residents showed up demanding answers. During the meeting, one man stood and said, "If he comes into my house, I'll protect my wife." The crowd applauded. But many investigators later believed the East Area Rapist may have been inside that meeting, and that he chose the couple right there, because not long after, the man and his wife were attacked, as if the predator had followed them home. That's when people realized something horrifying. This wasn't just a criminal, he was a hunter. Then suddenly, in 1979, he disappeared. No attacks, no calls. Nothing. It felt like he had vanished from the earth, but the real horror was still waiting. In the late 1990s, DNA technology revealed a terrifying truth. The East Area Rapist wasn't just a rapist, he was also a serial killer in Southern California. The same man had committed at least 10 murders between 1979 and 1986. Galeta, Irving, Dana Point, almost the entire state had lived in fear of him. Now he had a new name, the original Night Stalker, a man who invaded homes for years, haunted victims long after the attacks, and always stayed one step ahead of police. But the story doesn't end there, because after nearly 40 years, DNA genealogy technology finally led investigators to the killer, and when he was arrested, the entire world was shocked because he didn't look like a monster. He looked like an ordinary old man living a quiet life. His name was Joseph James D'Angelo, a former police officer. And maybe that's the scariest part of all. Sometimes the most dangerous monsters look exactly like everyone else. Think about it. If he really was sitting in that community meeting, how many people did he silently choose while watching the crowd? And how many neighbors passed by that quiet old man for years, never realizing they were walking past one of California's most terrifying predators?